Is Ayaka still worth it? She was once one of the most hyped up characters in Genshin, and so with a rerun coming soon, many players are wondering if this Cryo Sword user is still worth summoning for, and so stick around to the end of the video so you don't waste your ever so valuable Primo Gems. So Ayaka, a personal favourite of mine and one who I've loved using ever since I got her all the way back in 2.0, but now seeing as a rerun is soon, I wanted to go over some pros and cons of Ayaka and decide if she is worth picking up. So firstly, let's start with her pros. First up, we have to mention the best part of her kit, and that is her burst. So her burst is what makes Ayaka Ayaka. It is by far the most damaging part of her kit, and given the right team, for example teaming her up with people who can group enemies together like Venti or Kazuha, can make this burst so much better, as it will be able to hit multiple enemies throughout the fight. Not only is it good on multiple enemies, but it can also shred through most single mobs, especially big ones, and especially when you have her Constellation C2, which sends out 2 more whirlwinds that will deal so much extra damage. Now while this is the best thing about her, it can also be the worst thing about her, as if you miss her burst or if you struggle with her energy and cannot get this burst up at all times, then you will miss a very large portion of her damage. And so do note that if you are planning on playing her, she is very burst dependent, more than most characters. But now another great thing about her is her safe playstyle or safe team, and what I mean by this is her best in slot team is a freeze comp consisting of one other cryo character for the resonance, as well as a hydro and usually an anemo support for the grouping. Now this comp is firstly really good. It's often seen in the later stages of the Spiral Abyss due to how safe it is, as you don't get hit much and is quite the meta comp. Now there's a lot of variation to this comp, but the best one usually consists of something like Ayaka, Shinhei, Mona and Kazuha. However, this is a very expensive comp, with all of them being 5 stars and with one of them only being available from the standard banner. And so a more free to play friendly comp would be something like Ayaka, Diona, Shinshu and perhaps Kazuha. Now this does still require 2 5 stars, however Kazuha can easily be replaced if you don't have him, and this is the comp I personally run and does really well even in the later stages of the Spiral Abyss. And so these are the main positive things about Ayaka, but what about her negatives? Well, the first one, and the one I spoke briefly about, is again, while her burst is very good, it does mean that if you perhaps miss it, then a large chunk of her damage will be lost, as well as the fact that you will need to manage your energy very wisely, as if you don't always have your burst up whenever it's off cooldown, then that too could hurt your damage. Now this is pretty doable, especially if you have enough energy recharge on your artifacts, or even if you're running the Amenoma Kageuchi, which gives a good amount of energy when you use a burst. Now the last thing I want to touch on is, while Ayaka is a great character that is definitely capable of doing the end game of Genshin, she does get overshadowed by Ganyu, who can pretty much deal way more damage with less effort. However, at the same time this could be a negative to any cryo character really, as Ganyu is just that good. But again, there is more to a character than just CPS reasons. And so to go back to the question I started this video with, is Ayaka still worth it? Maybe. I think while she is still a very strong character with a very powerful burst, she is still very replaceable, doesn't offer anything special compared to the other cryo characters we have, or just any character really. And so personally, I think this will come down to a personal choice of it. If you like her playstyle or design, then she's a great pickup. Otherwise you can use another cryo character in replacement for her. Now if Yelan wasn't on the horizon as well as Kazuha, I would probably try and get a constellation or 2 for her, but seeing as they are coming soon, I will have to give Ayaka a skip this time. But now if you are summoning for Ayaka, then I wish you all the best in your summons and hope you get her. And so if you did enjoy this video about the upcoming rerun of Ayaka, then leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.